Welcome back to Murder with the Missus. I'm Darren.
And I'm Amy. And today we're going to tell you about Oscar Pistorius.
Don't forget to smash that like button. Check out the description for the links of all of our podcast platforms, Cash App, and Buy Me a Coffee. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to tell your friends. Welcome back.
Yeah, happy VD, y'all.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day. It is Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, you know, this only comes once a year. So go out, buy that special gift that you deserve.
I'm sorry, wait, what?
Because you have to put up with so much throughout the whole year.
Okay.
You didn't think it was going to go that way.
No, that went completely into left field. But now that I know how you feel about yourself.
No. Guys, if most of you know or don't know, buy your woman something. Show them how much you appreciate them.
And
because if you don't, they're just going to find somebody that does appreciate them.
That's true, too.
Just saying.
And if you're not spending it with someone that you love, don't look at it that way. Love yourself.
Yep.
You should always love yourself. Maybe
I said that just a minute ago,
yeah,
and you told me no.
But you have someone right here. Right here.
See what I put up with.
Or you could just do something nice for somebody today. Your love language doesn't have to be $100 on roses so you can watch them slowly die.
No, I ain't saying go out and buy a dozen roses.
No, you don't have to. If that's your thing, cool.
Scratch all that crap. Go out, have a nice dinner, have a drink. Just be with each other.
Or maybe do the dishes for her or something that she normally does. Just do something.
Yeah.
Or him. Same thing. Go change your oil.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it yourself.
Do it your damn self. Yeah, Amy, go change your oil.
I can.
But anyway, to the story.
I don't like that laugh.
It's a Valentine's story.
It is. So when I realized that we had an episode that was going to drop on Valentine's Day, I started looking around, researching, and forgot about this one completely.
Yeah.
It's an older and very well-known case, and it's very interesting. So I wanted to tell my love all about it. That's you, not myself.
Oh.
How that works.
I appreciate you.
So this is Oscar Pistorius, a.k.a. the Blade Runner, a.k.a. the fastest man on no legs.
Oh, this ain't like the movie?
Not the movie. Nope.
Gotcha.
Nope. Oscar was born on November 22nd of 1986 in Johannesburg, South Africa. He was born missing the outside of both feet and both fibulas. That's the calf bone or the shin. When he was 11 months old, they amputated both legs about halfway between the knees and ankles. 2 months later, he was fit with his first set of walking legs or prosthetics. He was always athletic in school and playing rugby, water polo, tennis, and he wrestled. He trained at a garage gym, and the owner said he was there for 6 months before they even noticed that Oscar had no legs. He skipped, boxed, did push-ups. He was doing everything.
So he learned how to walk on those prosthetics from the start, from the get-go.
Right. So he's only 13 months old when he got them. So he learned to walk on them.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
And if that's all you've known your whole life, you don't know anything different.
Absolutely.
That's just the way it is. He adapted very well. Now, his mom, Sheila, would tell him that there was no disability in their family. The real loser is not the one who crosses the finish line last, is the one who sits on the side and doesn't compete. He had a pretty bad knee injury playing rugby, and he did rehab at the University of Pretoria's High Performance Center. And he said, I only started sprinting in January of 2004. I thought I would be going back to rugby season at school in April of 2004, but started sprinting as part of my training after an injury. Entered the South African Disabled Championship and never looked back. He found his passion. It took a while for him to get a proper pair of running blades, but he got them. He was jumping hurdles in exoskeletal prosthetics, so wooden legs. So they came up with these blades, and he started competing in single and double amputee sprinting competitions. He broke world records, like running the 200 meter in 21.97 seconds at the 2004 Summer Paralympics. He did the 400 meter in 47.34 seconds in 2005 at the Paralympic World Cup. He would go on to break records of his own, like he'd set the record and then he'd turn around and break it. Lots happened. So you can look up his medals and accomplishments if you want to. The list is long, so we won't go through them all. But he wanted to compete in the 2008 Olympics, not just the Paralympics.
I bet.
Yeah.
He was still outrunning people.
Yeah. He
But-
definitely was.
And those prosthetics they had,
The blades.
Are the ones that kind of curve.
Yeah. They kind of make a little curve.
Yeah, you see them a lot now.
Right.
But those were actually made at the time for him, just for that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he was the first one to use them, or was he?
He's the first national international person we've seen wear them.
Oh, okay.
They really weren't as widely known back then, but I don't know if he was the first to wear them.
Oh, I got you. But now, whenever you watch them and you see people that use them, that's what they use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's at the standard.
Yeah,
But-
it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, it didn't come without criticism, though, because people were saying that his running blades gave him an advantage over runners with natural ankles and feet. He ran with J-shaped carbon fiber blades called the Flex Foot Cheetah. And as you can imagine, coming off the line was a challenge. So just picture how they have to stand to sprint, like they squat down. Coming off that is not as easy when you're on blades.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as easy to go around curves either. But he was making up for all of that he was lacking, or I don't know if he was lacking anything, but he was making up for everything in the straightaways.
Yeah.
He was studied at the German Sports University, and they said that the blades allowed him to use 25% less energy than runners with natural legs at the same speed. And that led to vertical motion combined with 30% less mechanical work for lifting the body. So they're saying, yeah, he's getting an advantage. So the International Association of Athletics Federations, the IAAF, made Rule 144.2 prohibiting any technical device that incorporates springs, wheels, or any other element that provides a user with an advantage over another athlete not using such a device. Now, you'd appeal this because the study was only done for running in a straight line and left out all the other variables. And like we mentioned, coming off the line, the curves, things like that, they didn't take any of that into consideration. So he appealed and he won.
So he competed in the Olympics?
He did not.
No?
There was some drama around that, but he did compete in the 2008 Paralympics and won 3 gold medals. And he kept going. At the 2011 World Championship, he was the first amputee to win a non-disabled world track medal. Then he made it to the 2012 Summer Olympics. So that's when he didn't get to do it in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up doing it in 2012. He was the first double leg amputee to participate. He was part of a sprint team, but that team did not win. But he was picked to carry the South African flag in the closing ceremony. And this was a big deal. He got sponsorships from Oakley, Nike, and a few others. He was doing modeling campaigns. He was still winning in the Paralympics, taking a total of 8 medals in his career.
Sorry. Wrong tube.
Wow.
Son of a bitch.
Are you that impressed
I
by
tell
his...
you, it's just a pop. It's not. Proceed.
Okay. Oh, God.
Sorry.
So he had 8 medals, so 6 were gold, 1 silver, and 1 bronze. He has a tattoo on his back for 1 Corinthians 9:26 through 27. I do not run like a man running aimlessly, meaning he's got a purpose.
Mm.
And he was quoted saying, "You're not disabled by the disabilities you have. You are able by the abilities you have." That sounds like words to live by. Professionally, he was doing great. Personally, might be a different story. He was interested in architecture, motorcycling, playing the electric guitar, and breeding racehorses. He was becoming more and more famous as he went on. But backing up a little bit, he released an autobiography called Dream Runner in Italian in 2007. The English version called Blade Runner was released in 2008. In 2009, he was reportedly driving a boat. Alcohol may have been involved, and there was an accident. He was thrown from the boat. They airlifted him to Mill Park Hospital for surgery so that they could fix his nose, jaw, and other facial bones.
Damn.
Yeah. Also in 2009, he was arrested and accused of common assault. Now, there were 2 versions of this story going around. Both involve him being at a party. One story is that he slammed a door and a piece of it came off and hit somebody. The other is that a man and woman were arguing, left. The man came back in, and when the woman tried to come back in, he slammed the door on her leg. So, 2 very different stories.
Yeah.
Either way, the case was dismissed for lack of evidence. And he kept going. In 2010, he was on the Italian version of Celebrity Survivor. Again.
Son of a bitch.
Again.
My bad.
Listen.
This video is going to be just full of shit.
Yeah, sorry. I apologize.
My bad.
At the 2011 World Championship, he was the first amputee to win a non-disabled world track medal. In 2012, he was a special guest star on the Italian version of Dancing with the Stars, and later that year, he was on Jay Leno. He was described like this: if you take the celebrity of LeBron James and you combine it with the appeal of Leonardo DiCaprio, that was Oscar Pistorius. So it was no surprise when he showed up in November of 2012 at the South African Sports Awards with Reeva Steenkamp right on his arm. She said in an interview at the event that Oscar was a sexy boy and a gentleman. Reeva was born August 19th of 1983 in Cape Town. She had two older half-brothers, one from her dad's previous marriage and one from her mom's previous marriage. She was doing a newspaper beauty contest and was recruited, so she began modeling when she was just 15. She graduated from Nelson Mandela University with a Bachelor of Laws degree. And she said, at the end of last year, I made an application to the bar. It was a nerve-wracking experience. As I walked out, I got the call from FHM shoot as well as two others. And I made a decision to take the modeling shoot. I believe in destiny and faith.
So she picked modeling over law?
She did. She did. And she loved it. She had been in magazines, on TV commercials. She was number 40 on the FHM 100 Sexiest Women of the World in 2011 and number 45 in 2012.
What's FHM?
I guess it's their magazine.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. She was the first face of Avon in South America, probably South Africa. I think that typoed. She loved riding horses until she fell and broke her back in the early 20s. In her early 20s, not the 1920s.
She was the first face of Avon?
Of Avon in South Africa. Mm-hmm.
That's America.
I know. That's why I said I think it typoed. It like auto-corrected to America. We're in South Africa, so.
Oh.
Now, when she broke her back in her early 20s, she had to learn to walk again. But she was a regular A-list guest at the red carpet events and socialite on the party scene. She was just doing the most.
Yeah.
She was loving, caring, and fun. So her and Oscar really hit it off. They kept their relationship a secret at first until they went to that sports awards in November. And it would only be 3 months later when Reeva was shot 3 times in the bathroom of Oscar's house, and she would sadly pass away. Oscar was arrested and the next day charged with premeditated murder.
So he shot her?
He admitted from the beginning that he shot her. Yep.
Why?
Why is the problem? He says he thought she was an intruder. He posted a cash bond on the 22nd, but he couldn't go home. He had to turn over his passport and he couldn't drink alcohol. Allegedly, though, he apparently got into a shoving match with someone at a bar. So if you're not drinking, probably don't go to the bar. His trial began in March of 2014 in the Pretoria High Court. They don't have a jury trial there. It's only a judge. And at one point, they paused the trial so he could get a psychiatric evaluation to see if he could be criminally responsible. A forensic psychiatrist testified that he or she had diagnosed Oscar with generalized anxiety disorder. And that's an excessing, uncontrollable, and often irrational worry about events or activities. They ruled that he did not suffer from a mental illness or defect that would have rendered him not criminally responsible. So the trial went on. And here's what we learned. He was paranoid. There was a lot of violence in the area.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty bad. So in the area they were in South Africa, there was a lot of violence. And then if you add in the fact that he's a celebrity, so everybody knows that he has money, then couple the fact with the fact that he is disabled because he has 2 prosthetic legs. Here I go. But anyways, you add all that together and he was worried that somebody would break in and try to steal from him or hurt him and he wouldn't be able to defend himself. So he basically felt like a target just sitting there. So he kept a gun handy. He testified that the alarm system at the house wasn't working properly. Now, I had trouble listening to some of the audio, but he said that the window chimes were battery operated, not hardwired in, but then said that the house had been painted in 2010 so that they had to remove those chimes from the windows. So either way, either dead batteries or no window coverage at all, They weren't working. And on the night of the 13th, as he watched TV and Reeva did yoga, they were just chilling at the house. He said they went to bed about sometime after 10 or 11. He woke up around 3 a.m. because he was hot.
I feel that. I mean, I have to have a fan on just to sleep.
You do.
Fan on, feet out.
All the time. And it's funny you say that because he actually got up to get the floor fan.
Oh, did he?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Well, we're going to take a quick break and hear a word from our sponsor.
Ooh. Do you or someone you know live in an apartment community? Are you balling on a budget? Then this ad is for you.
Some apartments don't have a washer and dryer included in the lease. If you want that life, then contact My Laundry Solutions.
They serve Tulsa, Oklahoma, Springfield, Joplin, and Kansas City, Missouri, Sherman, Dallas, Houston, and Lubbock, Texas. Their newest location is in Fort Worth, with more locations opening in Texas in 2025 and 2026. No credit check, free service, professional installation, and your account is available online, all for about $1 a day. Go to your leasing office, go to mylaundrysolutions.com, or call 800-535-4411.
Stop wasting that hard-earned money at the laundromat and give My Laundry Solutions a call today. My Laundry Solutions.
Give them a call today.
Don't miss out on a great deal.
You really don't want to. So we're at 3 a.m. He gets up to get the floor fan. He said that Reeva had either already woken up or hadn't been to sleep yet because she asked him what was wrong when he got up. He said he was hot and he got the fan, shut the glass door to the balcony, and shut the curtains. So my question here was, if you're so paranoid that you're a target, why are you sleeping with the doors open? I didn't understand that. I get that you're in a bedroom on the second floor, but still, people climb. Anyways, he heard a noise from the bathroom, like a window sliding open, then hitting the top when it gets fully open. And he immediately thought it was a burglar. There was no door between the bedroom and bathroom. So it's like a little hallway that you go down, turn right. You would have the bathtub behind you in the corner, the door to the toilet closet in front of you on the left, and then the door to the right, which is the glass shower door right in front of you on the wall. Now, I call it a toilet closet because it's one of those tiny areas that only has a toilet in it. And it's literally that big. We'll post
one of these days.
We'll post a layout picture. But he sees this as no barrier between him and the intruder. So he went back into the bedroom and got his gun, a Taurus PT 917 9mm semi-automatic, from under his side of the bed. And he whispered to Reeva, who was in bed, to get down and call the police.
So she was in bed.
He thought she was still in bed.
Oh, good night.
It was very dark. So he made his way to the open passageway to the bathroom. As he got closer, he said he screamed for the intruder to leave and for Reeva to get on the floor and call the police. Then he stopped screaming because he didn't want the intruder to know his location. As he got to the opening of the main part of the bathroom, he heard a door slam, which would be that door to the water closet, toilet closet, whatever it's called. The only door that could have closed would be that one. He peeked around, seeing that the window was open and that door to that toilet was closed. So he yelled again. He heard a noise inside the toilet closet and he just started shooting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He said he did 2 double taps, so 4 shots in rapid succession. He just kept shouting for Reeva, but his ears were ringing like so loud from the gunshots that he couldn't tell if she was responding. He made his way back to the bedroom, and keep in mind that he does not have his prosthetics on right now, so he's not getting around very well. He still has trouble with his left leg to this day. He makes his way to the bed and feels it to realize that Reeva is not in bed. So he thought she was on the floor, but then realized maybe she's not on the floor. Maybe that was her in the bathroom. Or maybe she was hiding.
If she is hiding, she would answer him when he would have yelled.
You would think so. Right. When he's yelling, she'd say, "It's me. I'm here." Something. But he's in a stressful situation, so he's not thinking like that. Or maybe she was scared. So he went to the sliding glass door and felt the curtains to see if she was hiding behind them. She was not. He went back into the bathroom and realized that the door was locked. So he went back to the bedroom. So he's back and forth, back and forth. He went back to the bedroom and opened the sliding door and yelled for help from the balcony. He put on his legs and then went back to the bathroom, finally turning the light on. So the light's been off this whole time. And he started kicking the door, but it didn't budge. So he went back into the bedroom again, and he got a cricket bat. He says he was screaming the whole time. Then he finally sat the gun down on the carpet, because he's been holding it this whole time, and hit the door with the cricket bat about 3 times. A plank came loose, so he pulled it and tossed it away and reached in to try to unlock the door from the inside, but the key wasn't in the lock. He saw the key on the floor, so he got it and finally unlocked the door and then cried over Reeva. He doesn't know how long he sat in the bathroom with her. She wasn't breathing. He was so emotional at this point on the stand that they had to actually stop his testimony. But he did reenact this all for the cops, and they videoed it. And you can actually watch that online where he's going through the apartment showing. His sister actually stood in for Reeva in that reenactment. But he showed that he awkwardly pulled her from the toilet closet, then picked her up and carried her downstairs. It was 18 stairs to be exact. Then he laid her on the floor where she would sadly die. Now, at some point in all of this, he had called the building manager, Dr. Johann Stipp. Although I did see reports that Johann had woke up hearing the gunshots and went to find out what was going on. Not that he had called him, but either way, he was the first on the scene. He said that she had no peripheral pulse, showed no signs of breathing movements, and her pupils were fixed and dilated. He did a jaw lift maneuver to try to open her airway, but it was too late.
Yeah. I don't believe that story.
You and everybody else.
I don't believe that.
Neighbors did testify that they heard screaming coming from the house before the gunshots, but it was the petrified scream of a woman. So was that Oscar yelling at the intruder and Reeva? Was the question.
My guess is that he was yelling and towards the bathroom and she was yelling back like, it's me.
Maybe.
You said he was drunk, right?
No.
But he was before he went to bed.
No. He was watching TV and she was doing yoga. They were having a normal at-home
I thought
night.
you said he had drinks before he came home.
Nope. I said he had drinks when he wasn't supposed to after he got out of jail because he got in trouble for getting.
And then they was watching TV while she was doing yoga.
This was totally different days.
Oh, my bad.
No, on this day, there was no reported drinking. Just normal night at home, chilling, went to bed at a decent time.
Was he on any kind of meds?
Nope. Now, his ex-girlfriend, who he dated for 2 years, one he actually left for Reeva, she was under the impression that they were still together when she saw Reeva and Oscar on TV at that sports awards thing in November and was like, oh, I guess we're over. She testified that he screamed at her a lot in their relationship, and he definitely sounded like a man. So there would be no way for them neighbors to mistake his scream for a petrified scream of a woman. An acoustic engineer said that people's ability to differentiate between a male and a woman screaming isn't always reliable. But gunshots might be different. He said, 4 shots in rapid succession, remember? Dr. Johann backed that up. He said, that's what I heard, 1, 2, 3, 4. But all the other neighbors said that there was a pause after the first shot. So there would be 1 pause and then 1, 2, 3 in succession. Now, why is that important? A couple of reasons. That would be extremely painful to get shot. And I would imagine if he shot once and then paused, she would have had a chance to scream or make some kind of noise that she had been hit.
Yeah.
I mean, unless she's in complete shock. But the most important, if you fire 4 in rapid succession, there would be no time for your victim to move, right? But ballistic experts testified that she was hit with 3 bullets. The first went through her hip, breaking it. So yeah, I imagine she probably yelled out. She fell back onto a magazine stand, so almost in a seated position. The second bullet missed her, hit the back wall, fragmented, and some of that hit her in the back, causing bruising. The last 2 shots couldn't be determined as to which one went first, but they believed that she had crossed her arms in front of her head to try to shield herself from the bullets coming in, with bullet 3 going through her right arm and then 4 through her left hand and into her head. So obviously she moved after that first shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So, they can use lasers, to see where the bullet went.
Yeah, and they do that. They set them little laser beams up and they see exactly it went through the door here, it would have hit here. You know what I mean? So they can see that she was hit once, fell back, and then was hit 2 more times. So she obviously, there had to have been that pause in between that first shot.
So that's probably what it was. She got hit, screamed.
Mm-hmm. Fell back, and then was hit again.
So what, they're thinking that she screamed and he panicked?
I don't know, but they're saying he would have known. They're saying he should have known that that was her in that bathroom after that first shot. But still, after the pause, he kept going.
No.
Yeah.
So he's thinking that, or they're thinking that he might have done it and was like, oh shit, I screwed up.
You better finish it out.
Yeah.
Who knows? And they also made him stand in front of the door with his legs and then take them off and stand in front of it again to see the height difference, just to see if he had his legs on or not when he shot. And they believe that he did not. And lots of people testified too. The guy he bought the gun from, he said that Oscar had just placed an order for 6 more guns.
Wow.
He talked about a previous incident where Oscar told him he thought there was an intruder and he went into combat mode with his gun. Turned out that intruder was his washing machine making noises.
Sometimes our dryer gets wild.
It does, but it sounds like an airplane taking off. It don't sound like, I guess you could, whatever. Now, his ex Sam.
We just need to get with My Laundry Solutions and get that taken care of.
Yeah, we need to give him a call.
Sorry.
Call him up.
Plug there.
His ex Sam, that had talked about him screaming at her all the time, she talked about him getting mad one time about being pulled over by a cop for speeding, and he shot out of the sunroof of the car at a stoplight. So he's sounding a little reckless.
Yeah.
You think? There was an incident in January at a restaurant when he was with Reeva when he accidentally fired his gun under the table. And there was about 200 people in the restaurant.
What an idiot.
He's not sounding very smart.
It's like, it reminds me of the video where the gun instructor, he's sitting there trying to teach him gun safety.
Mm-hmm.
And he like pulls the gun up out of his holster and like, pow.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, did you mean to do it? And he's like, yeah. And he puts his gun down, takes his headphones off, and he's like, he automatically knew I'm a moron.
Yeah.
Because you could see the embarrassment in his face that what he did.
As well, you should be embarrassed. Now, people who have known Oscar for a long time said that after he got famous, he got more arrogant and more paranoid. They brought out some WhatsApp messages showing her saying that, talking about Reeva, saying that he was nasty. She was scared of him sometimes. He accused her of flirting with her friend's husband, and he made a scene because of it. And then she was very unhappy in the relationship, and she was sad. She apparently had coffee with an ex 4 days before she died, and they had exchanged some platonic texts. They made it very clear that these were strictly platonic. But there's a lot more drama to be had. So let's get into it. In September of 2014, Oscar was found not guilty of murder, but he was found guilty of culpable homicide. So that's like manslaughter here in the States. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison. He was also given a 3-year suspended sentence for reckless endangerment for shooting in the restaurant. He was found not guilty of shooting out of the sunroof at the car. And you have to serve a 1/6 of your sentence.
Sorry.
You're good.
You got all these. He shot in the restaurant, shot out the sunroof.
Shot out the sunroof at the light.
Good night.
Yeah, he's just wild. And you have to serve a 1/6 of your sentence there. So he was set for release in August of 2015 to do some community service.
Yeah.
But he couldn't do any official athletic competitions until the full 5-year sentence expired. Now, his release was blocked by the South African Justice Minister, saying it was premature. That's not long enough. But he was eventually released in October. A month later, prosecutors said that they would appeal the shockingly light and inappropriate sentence he got. And the judge told them, we'll go right on ahead. But they couldn't appeal the sentence, only the acquittal of the premeditated murder charge. And they said, okay, bet. They argued with the Supreme Court of Appeal that the judge used dulis eventualis incorrectly, And this is whether the accused did actually foresee the outcome of his actions rather than he or she would have.
So
Does that make
shooting into a
sense?
tiny closet at someone will
Probably
kill him.
Right. So he should have known shooting into that closet would kill him.
Yeah.
So they're like, he
Well,
did
I mean,
it
you know, it's
anyway.
like shooting fish in a barrel.
100%. And that's what the prosecutor basically said too. So by unanimous decision, because this is a panel of 5 people now, they overturned the culpable homicide conviction and found him guilty of murder.
Took his legs right out from underneath him.
Stop it.
Sorry.
Stop it.
I'm so sorry.
You're going to hell.
That is so wrong.
Yeah.
Don't hate me.
Too late. Just kidding. It's out there now. Oscar appealed, of course. That's what he does. And remained on house arrest while he did it. Now, he couldn't be at his house because he had to sell that to pay his legal fees. But he lost the appeal. Wow. I'm shocked. And on July 6th of 2016, he was sentenced to 6 more years in prison, even though the minimum is supposed to be 15. He went back to the same hospital prison he was originally in, and the prosecutors appealed this second shockingly lenient sentence. In November of 2016, he was transferred to a different prison that was more for disabled prisoners. So it has like a bathtub in their cells, which I imagine that would be more convenient because if you have to take your legs off to take a shower, it's a little more difficult to take a shower.
Yeah.
And this is for people who are serving 6 years or less. So he was actually able to go there. Halfway through his sentence, he was again considered for early release. Her family has to fight this every single time this happens. And Oscar participated in the restorative justice process where he had to ask the family for forgiveness, which was very hard on the family too. So they have to just keep facing him year after year, appeal after appeal. It would be November of 2017 that instead of parole, his sentence was increased again to 13 years and 5 months. And that would equal out to a minimum 15-year sentence like he was supposed to get the first time. Oscar appealed again, and it was denied again. So it was in November of 2023 that he was finally granted parole, and he was released with conditions on January 5th of 2024.
So he's out now?
Yeah. Got out a year ago.
But see, I understand that the sentencing was light. He should have been sentenced to the max or whatever it was. It should have been
15.
Well, I think he should have got more. But, I mean, if they ruled it, then, and that's what they give him, they shouldn't have, in my own opinion, I don't think they should go back and be like, oh, we're going to add this on top of it.
They did that on the second one. Now, when they went back the first time when he got out, they were like, you can't go back on what's already happened. You would have to then find him guilty of murder. And that's what they did.
Yeah, I understand
but
that.
But then they did.
But then you said they only give him 5 years?
6 years.
6 years instead of the 15?
Right.
And then you said that they added another 13?
They made it equal out to, they added 13 years, 5 months.
They added 13 years, 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't think that they should have been able to keep on. Just I mean, they should have just done that the first time and let him do his appeals. That's
kind of what that appeal court was saying. Like, why didn't y'all take care of this before?
Exactly. I mean, because, and how early did he get out this time?
Let's see. It was changed in 2017 and he was out 2024. So 7 years.
So he got out in 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they would have went ahead and found him guilty to begin with, he could have got a whole lot harsher sentence.
You would hope. But
I mean, if he was here, he would have.
Yeah, it's a little different here.
Yeah.
Well, you never know here. Sometimes they're on it. Sometimes they're not.
I'm not saying like here, but you know what I mean? Like in U.S.
In the States.
Yeah.
So now he is out and about.
Where you're at.
Exactly. And who you know.
Yeah.
But he's out and about. Last I could see, he was dating a longtime family friend named Rita, who is a business management consultant. Now, remember, he sold his house, so he stays with in his uncle's $2 million cottage. They call it a cottage, but I don't know a cottage that costs $2 million. Reeva's mom started the Reeva Steenkamp Foundation to help prevent similar cases in the future. And Reeva, along with Anine Boyson, were named SA Person of the Year for 2013. Reeva had filmed for Tropica Island of Treasure, and it was supposed to premiere 2 days after her death. So they did a tribute to her for that first episode. In her exit video, she said, "I think the way that you go out is so important. You either made an impact in a positive way or a negative way, but just maintain integrity and maintain class and just always be true to yourself. And I'm going to miss you all so much. And I love you very, very much." So it's a goodbye that crosses over. It was a goodbye on the show, but since she passed away before it aired, it ended up being a goodbye to people, to everybody. A lot of people believe that they were actually arguing that night and that she had locked herself in the bathroom to get away from him and that he shot her out of anger. And I was thinking of alternatives, and he did wake up because he was hot. She could have gotten up to go open the bathroom window. He says he yelled about an intruder. Maybe she thought the intruder was downstairs, because what intruder goes into a toilet closet in an upstairs master bathroom? And she went into the toilet closet to hide from the intruder. I mean, it wouldn't be too hard to believe that. And they believe that she was facing the door when she was shot. So she wasn't like actually using the facility. She was standing there, maybe listening at the door to see if she could hear a scuffle, or I don't know. There's just so many ways that could have went.
Yeah.
And he thought that she was in bed, but why would he leave her in bed alone instead of getting her somewhere safe or staying with her with the gun? That way he was protecting her.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't think it happened the way he said it did.
I don't either.
Nobody does.
You know, that's why I think maybe he was drinking that night, and
you never know.
Or something. I mean, it could have been anything, but yeah, it's all speculation anyway. But
all at this point.
Yeah.
But that's where the case is. He's out doing whatever.
Yep. He's out. I don't think he served as much time as he should have.
No. And it was Valentine's Day. Just so sad.
Yep.
So if you like the content that we do and want to support the channel, we do have a Cash App. You have to use the email address to look it up. It's dna.truecrime@gmail.com.
And buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/MWTM. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to let you know when the new episodes drop. Sorry, that was a mouthful. But anyway, and always tell your friends as always.
Yes.
Okay? Till next time.
Bye.